In addition to the Dems in denial, some of the 2020 fanatics are taking it even further. Julian Castro is calling for the decriminalization of illegal border crossings.
I believe that our border is more secure than it's ever been. I'm not buying into the BS that basically says that little children and mothers who are desperate and fleeing desperate circumstances are a national security threat. We should decriminalize people who are coming here, crossing the border.
My next guest, Casey Diaz, is a former gang member, author of the brand new book, The Shot Caller, and he has an eye-opening perspective of the dangers of open borders. What is your message, Casey? Had you on the podcast today. You had the most unbelievable story of redemption, juvenile, crime, gangbanger, murder, and now you're out and you're seeing this conversation about an open border when you were on the streets dealing with the rival gang for yours was MS-13. What are those? Princes, I'm sure.
You know, it's a real, actual problem that we're having, and it can't be overlooked. It needs to be tackled right now. And I'm like 100% with the president and the choices that he's making to secure that border if need to lock it down. I mean, this is, you know, we see that people, you know, with good hearts want to come in here and pursue a dream. But in these caravans, I can tell you from being in meetings in the past when I was active in the gang leadership, that there was plans, there was an agenda. And in these caravans, you're going to see a lot of MS-13, a lot of 18th Street. You're going to see a lot of gangs, and they're going to be dressed very normal, and they're going to try to get in here. That's just the bottom line. And
you write about this in your book. It's chilling, but the means and the methods of terrorizing the most vulnerable people on the streets, and oftentimes they are the Latino Americans who are legal immigrants who are being terrorized by these gangs. And the Democrats laugh this off. They say, oh, this is Trump. Trump's creating this crisis. Yeah. Did Trump create the crisis that you grew up in?
No.
As a legal immigrant?
No, not at all. You know, when I hear people like Julian Castro talk, his pitch is very wrong. It's very wrong. These guys that are coming in here, they're not going and living across the street from Julian Castro. I mean, he's not. They're not. You know, they're coming in to low-income cities, and they're going to take your children. They're going to indoctrinate them with gang culture, and then we're going to see the whole 1980s, the gang war that we had back then, revisit us once again in here. I mean, that border needs to be protected by all means.
And what you saw and what you lived day in and day out, it's still happening in Chicago, Manassas, Virginia, had horrific murders. Yeah. Prince William County, Long Island. These gang rivalries are popping up all over the country now. The more porous the border is, the more opportunity for people to sneak in. Do you think the reason more Latinos are now gravitating toward Trump, his numbers at about 50% in the last poll among Latinos, which people don't believe? Yeah. What do you think about what Latinos believe about a safe streets and better economy?
Here's something that I'll throw at you. Many of the guys that I ran the streets with and in prison with, who came out and successfully completed parole and got a job and started a business out here and started to pay taxes, they're all conservatives now. Most of all these guys that came out alongside with me are all conservatives. And the media, the left, will not tell you that. They will hide that by all means. But that's the reality. I know, I mean, I won't share the names, but I could tell you that everyone that I hang out with.
Well, criminal justice reform, they're doing all that stuff too. So they're pushing for the former felons to be able to vote. I think they're going to get a surprise when a lot of these former felons end up voting for Trump. I think they're going to get a surprise. Casey, your book is fascinating. It's up on my Facebook page and on lauraingraham.com. Thank you for being here tonight and telling your story.
Thank you so much.
It's a story of redemption, by the way. We all need a little redemption.